Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On September 15, 2023, against the strong public outcry from the local community in Brooklyn and across New York City, the lease signed by the Biden administration proposes to house at least 2,000 migrants at Floyd, Bennett Field, Brooklyn, at a monthly rent of $1.7 million. Under the terms of the lease, the city, who will be reimbursed by the state, will pay the first 3 months up front, and the city will be able to use 30 acres of land at the location. The total cost of the agreement over $20.8 million. According to the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, who he himself has said this migrant crisis is destroying New York, will destroy New York. So far, in fiscal year 2023, New York City has spent $1.4 billion to deal with this crisis, and is estimated that the taxpayers will be forced to pay $12 billion by 2025 if this crisis is not handled, which means if we do not stop the unsustainable and unsafe flow of individuals coming through our southern border. Additionally, the mayor has said, because of this crisis, he has to propose a 15% across the board cut from New York City services for our actual citizens. He wants to bring cops levels to 1990 levels, thousands of fewer cops on our streets than we had on September 11th, 2001. We are having a hiring freeze for not just the cops, but the school safety officers. There is no difference than the left's defund the police agenda than this. This is defunding the police to pay for citizens of other countries to receive free housing and services. They're just not calling it that. The gentleman who spoke prior on the other side of the aisle says that we have to get to the root of the problem. You're absolutely right, because New York City, because our mayor, by the way, is misinterpreting the right to shelter decree, which is intended for homeless New Yorkers, mandating the city to house homeless New Yorkers, not citizens of other countries. And if there's any question about that, we sued, and a judge on Staten Island reaffirmed what we've been saying, that the city has no obligation to house citizens of other countries, and the decree was meant for homeless New Yorkers. However, the mayor continues to use luxury hotel rooms, crushing tourism in New York, using school spaces, whether they're former Catholic schools. They even used public school gyms and cafeterias at one point. Our public and open spaces, this parkland, and even assisted living facilities. They've actually went so far to kick a bunch of seniors out of an assisted living facility in my district and then turn around and make it a migrant shelter. How is that fair for the citizens of New York? Let's get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that the President of the United States chose to put in place executive orders that dismantled public safety, that took away the tools of our Customs and Border Patrol agents, that it allowed for a free flow of individuals into the country. We don't know whom, 1.7 million of them, we don't know who they are, where they are, or what their intention is. And then the other 6 million plus that have applied for asylum, guess what? 50% of those cases are denied in court. People are abusing the asylum system to gain entry into this country, to be released into this country. Most don't show up to court, and when they do, 50% of those cases are denied. So we need to go back to enforcing the laws, making sure there's a proper process in this country for people, yes, to apply for asylum. My mother's a Cuban refugee. I support people coming to this country and applying the right way for asylum. And what is the right way? The right way is you go to the next safe country. We have people from over 120 countries coming through the southern border. We only have 2 countries bordering the United States, yet we have people from 120 different countries, which means the process is not being followed. And I'll tell you something else. This is very unfair to immigrants, all right? I don't know if the other side understands what this president is doing. He has a last-in, first-in approach, which means people coming over the border, they're having their cases heard first. So the people who have been waiting in line for years and there's a 10-year backlog right now because of this crisis the president created, those people are not being heard, and they're having their cases pushed back even further. How is that right? Maybe you're the party that's anti-immigrant, that you're letting people who applied the right way, that came to this country the right way, to be stuck and pushed to the back of the line.